Welcome to week 2 class. Congratulations, you survived week 1. Hopefully you had some fun with this one and everything is going smoothly. So week 2, unit 2, you'll have the same thing as you completed in unit 1, which is your quiz and the CQ to complete, related to the chapter, and of course your attendance. Then you'll have your folder for the project. So if you open your project, basically the project you'll be working on the entire semester, that is your capstone, is as follows. You need to create an app, a navigation app for Mott Community College. The app should run on all platforms, meaning Android, Google, Apple, Microsoft, BlackBerry, all the platforms that are available out there that are any smart tablets, smartphones and tablets. So anything that is mobile device should be able to handle that. So what does the app needs to do? It needs to show room level real-time mapping to be able to lead people not only to the proper building but to the room itself. So like for example, right now I've just registered, I'm good to go, I'm at the Prawl building. I need to go to take a class in the RTC building, the technology building, and my room is RTC 2107. I don't know how to get there. So what I'll need to do is once I put it in, it's like, think about a navigation system. Once I put it in, it will walk me. Okay, it tells me to go right, left, past public safety, get from the back, go to the second floor, make a right, make a left, keep going straight, and then it will walk me through the room itself. And that is the case if I'm going from the RDC to Prawl to etc. etc. That's number one. All visitors, allow visitors to get directions to appropriate student, staff, visitor, whomever it is, parking lots closest to the building they need to visit. So I'm coming to visit the library. Where is the closest parking to the library? I'm coming to visit the RTC building. What is the closest parking to that building, and is there open spots in it? Meaning you need to also think about availability in the parking lot. How do I utilize that? There is different options. One, for example, the parking lot next to the library has gates. Is that an option that I can utilize here in the RTC building? Like for example, in my RTC building, that where we are, the parking lot has no way for us to know who's coming in, who's coming out, and then how many open spots there is, how many available spots there is. So what are your options? Your options can be gates, so you need to plan for that, budget, how much it costs, etc. You might think about sensors. There's sensors also, the technology is available, so your job is to Google it and find it, because you are the consulting firm I'm trying to hire as your client. 3, you can think about maybe the security system, the cameras available for public safety. Can you utilize that somehow? Okay. Then you need to show access to public transportation to and from the various campuses. So for example, I'm taking a class in Clio. I need to get to the main campus in Flint. I need to figure out the transportation's availability for me, which is the buses system. So the one we have in Genesee County is MTA. So research that. That's something you need to add within the app. Then you need to allow ratings for facility, for departments, for instructors, for classes. How can you do that? Maybe a just star rating, like put 1 through 5 stars. You can rate, as good as bad for each one of those. Number 6, allow social interaction, such as setting up times to meet between students. Now, what if I'm a visitor? You have to think about that. That means what? If I'm a student, do I have to use my username and password that I was given? If I do, what is the security issues that I might have to look into? Privacy problems. You need to be careful about that. What if I'm a visitor? I don't have that access. Can I still access those and see them? Or can I add also, or I just can't see them? And then of course plan for expansion for future. If the app, you need to add more stuff to it. And then of course, the application, like I stated earlier, needs to run on all platform: Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile Phone, and any other new technology that we have, such as Google and etc. What do they need? Then from there, you'll need to go under the primary investigation report folder. So if you open that, that will show you the stuff that you need to complete, which, remember, this one is a draft. What you're completing here, the first report, is a draft. So you'll send me that by the end of week 2. I'll review it in the next few days, and I will get back to you with feedbacks and comments that you'll need to modify, and then complete the one, which then you'll send me the final draft of it, which is 2 in a couple weeks. So by the end of week 3. So how are you going to conduct the preliminary investigation? 1, you need to interview me as your client. How do you do that? You do that through emails. If you look on the bottom here, I have some ideas for you. Interview questions you can send me via email, but you need to allow me time. So you cannot send me these on Friday morning and expect me to reply to you that same day. I need a minimum of 48 to 72 hours. So you need to get these done in the next 2 to 3 days maximum, and email me those. You'll have to have an objective for the interview questions, develop the questions, prepare the questions, conduct the interview, which you'll do via email, and document the interview questions, evaluate the interview questions, and then you can send more when I reply to you related to when we talk about the second part, which is your final part. Then what are you going to turn in? The investigation should contain what? Introduction, which you should summarize what I just stated and the project itself. System request summary, what are your findings that you did research. Case for action, how are you going to get it done. Project roles, who is going to work on it. You as the leader of the project, so you're the project manager, and then your team that will work on it. Time and cost estimates with the timeline and total cost of ownership. So like I said, you need to look at what? You have to develop the application. You have to look at connections, meaning what? You cannot assume that everybody has data on their phone. So what if I don't have enough data on my phone? How am I going to be able? Inside of the buildings we have wireless, but what if I'm walking outside? What is my option? What is the technology you'll be using outside? Are you going to use wireless access points outside, or are you going to use like some beams that have like different infrared technology that allows you to connect to it? Are you going to use Bluetooth to be able to still connect to the network that will walk me through it? So that's the cost you need to look at. You need to look at the cost of the parking lot, figure out the parking lot availability and if it's open, not open, and when those are. What are the benefits? You need to do an analysis of that, looking at the benefits of the app once we do it, and then appendix any supporting documents you might have. So you create a plan on how you are conducting your primary analysis, include detailed scope of the project, what are we going to develop. You need to include a SWOT analysis, which you should remember from your 169 class, which is looking at the weaknesses and etc. Of your project. You need to have an organization chart, meaning you need to determine who is part of MOD and who is in charge and etc. I'm the requester, but there's a chart for that. Organization mission statement and any other document that provide high-level directions for the organization in your appendix. Evaluate feasibility of all 4 feasibility consideration, which is operational, technical, economical, and then schedule. Okay. Include your recommendation and plan for next steps. Submit it to me utilizing, of course, a Word document that you'll turn in right here under the primary investigation report draft. Here you'll send the questions. I would like you to, once you perform them, you'll send them to me when you're done. So I want to review them. So a basic primary investigation report template is in Blackboard, which is, if you go under the first one, I have a zip that you can open, and there's multiple templates available, like I said, that you can utilize. For example, interview question documentation that you can look into, what those are, how, where, when, and etc. You can look at some documents that I have for you, like net review and etc. So let's look at the primary investigation report. Once again, if you guys want to use a template from the net, please do so. I try to help you out with this, which will allow you to just fill in the blanks. Okay, so it is up to you if you want to use it or not. You can use it and add more to it. Of course, your document, it's going to be a lot larger than this. And there's a lot more stuff that you can look into. Return on investment templates. I have a templates for you that has formulas in it, use case, description, system requirements, request, etc., etc. So please review those. And there's also another one available here, competitive analysis SWOT template you can use that I'm providing you. Primary investigation report, point 4, the final report. So if you look at these, it just gives you a good map to follow so you can put in the information. So here it's an example that I'm giving you that you can utilize. Please do not copy and paste from this. That's not your work. So I need you to just look at it and utilize it as a template, and then you can create your own stuff when it comes to that SWOT analysis. So you need to complete that also as, fill in the blanks, strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threats. That's related to what we have right now as an institution and related to the application. How does the application here in your analysis will help will help Mott Community College as an institution? How would that help us? And then there's some, template charts that you can review that I provided. There's also a report point that I have for you guys that you can follow. So I gave some examples. Now, once again, I'm not giving you a full example, and I will not give you a full example because I've done it before where students basically just took the same thing and then copied and pasted from everything. So here it's an example of organizational chart. So that's what you guys need to find about Mott. Who is the CEO? Who's the president? Who's the CFO, CEO? All of this is on our website. If you just Google it if you just research it on the search engine, our website, you'll be able to find it. So the goal of the project is to build on it from week to week to week to week, which by the end of the semester, you'll have a full portfolio basically of the project. And then I'll be adding every week more stuff that you need to complete. So to summarize, what you need to do is create an app. The app, you are the contracting firm, so you are the IT company that I'm trying to hire that will allow me to get this done. So you are the expert, I am the client. I don't know what is needed. I will act as your client, and I have no idea what I need. I just told you what I need. When I say I don't know what I need, means I don't know the requirements, so you need to figure that out. So your job is to immediately start researching, doing some readings, and then hopefully by midweek send me the emails. Make sure when you send me an email, in the subject area type in there COMI264 and then put in there project questionnaire, or give it a name. So don't just send it without. Make it professional. Don't just write a whole single paragraph and make it all flunky and crazy and stuff like that. Make it as you're dealing with the client. So use paragraph format, dear Mr. whatever, etc., and blah blah blah. I'm the project. Introduce yourself. I'm the project manager. I'm contacted you in relation to this project, etc., etc. All of this you'll be graded on. So make sure that you send them as professional, not just type, and then send them, and that's basically it. Introduce yourself, that you're contacting me to get more information about the requirements of the project that we have, and then you'll be able to utilize all of this. Hopefully this video will give you a good understanding of what you need to get done. Go through the material as soon as possible. Feel free to get hold of me as soon as possible so I can answer more questions about it, so you have a better and better understanding. Hopefully you'll have some fun with this. I'm available. I am available. Reach out if you have doubts as to what you are looking at and what needs to be done. Don't send me an email telling me I don't know what I'm doing. You tell me that, I tell you I don't know what to tell you. So look at it, ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more you will be able to complete it properly, and hopefully it'll be a successful one. So remember, this is your capstone project for the entire semester, but it's not a one-time thing. You'll be working on it every single week until week 15. Have fun.